Hi, this video is looking at what is IPCC. I'm sure you have heard a number of times the word IPCC. The word IPCC stands for Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is an intergovernmental body of the United Nations, which is known as the IPCC, which provides regular assessments of the scientific basis of climate change, its impacts, and future risks and options for adaptation and mitigation. IPCC was created in the year 1988 by the World Meteorological Organization and the United Nations Environmental Programme, the UNEP. The objective of the IPCC is to provide governments at all levels with scientific information that can be used to develop climate policies. IPCC reports are also key inputs into international climate change negotiations that take place regularly. IPCC is an organization of governments that are members of the United Nations (UN). The IPCC currently has 195 member countries. Thousands of people from all around the world contribute to the work of IPCC in forms of as IPCC authors and in other multiple technical levels as well. For the assessment reports, experts volunteer their time as the IPCC authors to assess thousands of scientific papers published each year in scientific journals and provide a comprehensive summary of what is known about the drivers of climate change, its impacts, and what are the future possible risks, and how adaptation and mitigation can reduce those risks in these countries. An open and transparent review by experts, governments around the world is a central part of the IPCC process. This ensures an objective and complete assessment to reflect a diverse range of views and expertise. Through the periodic assessments, the IPCC identifies strength of scientific agreements in different areas and indicates where further research is needed. Now, it's very important to note that IPCC does not conduct its own research. What IPCC fundamentally does that pick, select, and assess the best scientific knowledge available to us that are mostly published in high-ranking, top, best scientific journals in various disciplines that include science, social sciences, humanities, etc. Now, IPCC is basically divided into working groups, task forces, and so on. So you will see working group 1 that deals with physical science basis of climate change. What are the scientific basis of the anthropogenic climate change? Now, working group 2 deal with climate change impacts, adaptation, vulnerability. Now, the working group 3 deals with mitigation of climate change. Now, IPCC was awarded a Nobel Prize for Peace in the year 2007. Now, this was awarded to the IPCC and former United States Vice President Al Gore for their efforts to obtain and disseminate information about climate change. In Al Gore's case, the award was grounded in his tireless campaign to put climate crisis on the political agenda. I'm sure some of you have an idea about one of his popular documentary called The Inconvenient Truth, which is also considered as one of the initial foundational documentary knowledge about the anthropogenic climate change in the world and its seriousness. Now, so far, IPCC has done around 6 assessment cycles. These are cycles that run many years, where IPCC fundamentally looks into what has been the kind of change that have happened in the planet and what are the drivers of that change, what can possibly be done about those changes. So we have had first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth assessment cycles. Sixth assessment cycle was concluded recently, and there is a new report from the IPCC which is the synthesis of the sixth assessment report. Now, one of the major finding of the sixth assessment report is that the human induced global warming, which is the anthropogenic global warming of 1.1 degrees Celsius, has spread the changes to the Earth's climate and that are unprecedented in the human history. So this is considered as one of the major scientific evidence for the anthropogenic climate change that IPCC conclude after looking at thousands of research papers and research findings published all around the world in the top ranking best journals, and IPCC concludes that 1.1 degree Celsius change of human induced global warming. Now the seventh, of course, 1.1 degree is what we know from the sixth assessment report, but then we do have multiple other new estimates that suggest that we have crossed that, and we are very well on way to cross the 1.5 degrees Celsius targets which was kept by the Paris Agreement. And some of the newest estimates and research even finds that we have at some parts for some shorter period have even crossed the 1.5 degree threshold, which should of course be something very serious for us to understand. Now the seventh assessment of the IPCC is going to start soon, and the British climate scientist Jim Skia, who is recently appointed as the new chair of the IPCC, will be leading IPCC from now on, who will also be heading the seventh assessment cycle. Thank you.